Everybody, this is NoBSNutirition, episode 20 of the podcast, and we're going to talk about 5 ways to get better sleep. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, my name is Drake, or NoBSNutirition. I go by on YouTube. I pretty much talk about 3 to 1 subject, and I go through more detail. Today I'm talking about 1 subject, and I'll talk about 5 ways to get better sleep. We're just going to get into it right now. So, why you need better sleep? So everyone knows if you want better sleep, it regulates hormones. This is the only time when the body at rest produce any muscle, like building muscle, brain function, losing body fat, any sorts of things you're thinking, repairing cells, everything. That's the only time when the body is doing it. Of course, throughout the day, it's doing that also consistently, but this is the only time you're at rest, actually focusing on building more muscle and getting your fitness goals. And even though people like to shit on sleep sometimes, if they like arch mirror and be like, oh, I just need 6 hours of sleep, I need to work. The ironic part is, if you get better sleep, you will get better productivity, intensity during your workouts, and also just mood. Like, no one wants to feel shitty always, and I don't want to feel shitty 24/7, so get better sleep. It's pretty much that simple. So number 1 to get better sleep is do not use technology 32 hours before bed, maybe 2 hours before bed. This is kind of easier said than done, and I also deal with this. So what I would suggest realistically, if you can't go an hour to 30 minutes before going to bed with technology, maybe you're like doing some homework, or maybe you have an office job, so you have to do some emails, etc. Whatever you're doing, I would say use blue light blocking glasses, or a sun protector, or a screen protector, eye protector. It has it on your phone. You should scroll down where the brightness at. It goes by, if I can see it right on this phone, it will go by eye shield. This good, eye shield. And pretty much you would click on it, it makes the screen yellow, so it dampers the blue light. The reason why we want to damper blue light, because it tricks the brain think it's daytime, and obviously if it's 10 o'clock p.m. and then the brain think it's daytime, you're going to stay up longer throughout the night, and that's not a good thing, because we want better quality sleep. So I would suggest blue light blocking glasses if you have. So if you don't like those, then use the eye shield, or just sleep 30 minutes before going to bed. Just because, it would take you 30 minutes to go to bed for most people. Number 2 is do more activity before going to bed, and no caffeine. Oh wait, no. Do more activity before going to bed, and no caffeine before bed. So let me talk about activity. If you do more activity throughout the day, you will get tired. You will get more tired because the body is up on cortisol, whether it's good or bad. It's forming in a high intensity. So let's say you did morning cardio, then after that you did strength training, and now your body is very active. It produced all that energy out, expelled all that energy, and now it's ready for going to bed. It's ready to relax, in a relaxed state. And no caffeine. No caffeine before going to bed. This is most common, meaning I would recommend having caffeine probably, honestly, 5 to 6 hours before going to bed, depending on the dose. So if you have 300 milligrams of caffeine before going to bed, it's like 6 hours before going to bed. That's probably not a good idea, especially if you can't tolerate caffeine well. So you really get amped up if you drink even a little bit of caffeine. For me, I can drink high amounts around 7 to 6 hours, and my deep sleep is okay. But if I go past that, my deep sleep is total shit. And that's the thing I want to talk about. People say, oh, I can drink caffeine before bed. That's not the case. I thought the same thing. You can't. It's impossible. Even if you get 8 hours of sleep, your deep sleep is going to be like 30 to minutes at best. So I recommend don't drink caffeine before going to bed, and also be active. It doesn't have to be strength training, but do some form of activity like a sport or a hobby that you like that's active to be tired throughout the day. Sleep in the Pacific time. Do not make up for lost time. So sleep in the same schedule that you want to sleep, because the body will adjust and adapt. So if you sleeping at 8 p.m. on the dot, or going to bed at 8 p.m. and falling asleep at 8:30, let's say, then your body will adjust to that and actually fall asleep easier instead of sleeping at 9 p.m. And that's an hour later than you're normally sleeping at anyway. So You have to adjust for that. A lot of people who have busy jobs, I do understand, but you really have to try to have a specific sleep schedule. If everything is correct, if you're not drinking caffeine, if you're active, that sleep schedule is going to F you up because the body will regulate itself to sleep at a specific time. If you miss that time, A, you're going to be tired, or B, you're going to have a lot of cortisol because you were staying up late, and it's going to be hard for you to fall asleep. So you really need to be specific with the sleep scheduling. And the last thing, this is very important. A lot of people think this is a good thing, but no. People like to stay up late and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna go sleep longer for on Saturday, let's say, right?" And they're trying to make up for lost time, which is not a good thing because this is correlates with the sleep schedule. If you're sleeping at 8:30, 8 o'clock p.m., you stay up one day. Let's say you stay up to 11 o'clock. You know, you wake up at the same time, so 6 o'clock, right? Or maybe 5 o'clock. You're not getting enough sleep. And then after that on Saturday, you'll be like, okay, let me get more sleep. So I'm going to sleep at 6. And it turns out that you sleep at 6, you wake up at the same time. Or, not wake up at the same time. You wake up earlier, and you can't fall back asleep. So many problems, and this can mess up hormones, this can mess up your sleep quality, and this can mess up everything. So you really need to make sure you have a specific sleep schedule. And also, you need to make sure you have consistency with your sleep. Number 4, don't eat anything before 2 to 3 hours before bed. Before going to sleep, it depends. So, the reason why I say don't go to sleep 2 to 3 hours before going to bed is sometimes digestive of the body that will absorbing food will impair your sleep because, it's digested. Depending on what you eat, especially if it's a gassy food or if it's very hard to digest, like a lot of vegetables, then that can really mess up your sleep quality, etc. But it depends for some people. For me, I like eating an hour before going to bed. I like to have a full stomach, and doesn't mess up my sleep. It actually improves my sleep quality. I've been tracking it for a while, so I know what works for me. A lot of people is like, oh, it's optimal, oh, it's going to produce more muscle. No, just do what feels comfortable. If 2 hours before eating helps you to go to bed faster than eating 1 hour before going to bed, then go ahead and do it. But for me, it helps me to eat around 1:30 to an hour before going to bed. So, we just talked about that. Number 5, suggest mouth tape. I would suggest mouth tape. If you don't want to buy mouth tape, I use a piece of tape like not scotch tape, but it's this paper tape, so it's easy to rip off. It sounds silly, but it really works. Pretty much, it's nasal breathing. So mouth breathing can have so many problems like insomnia, collapsed lungs. So your tongue will probably go in the back of your throat, and that can really impair sleep. Like really, really crazy. You could actually die from it. You can choke up in your sleep, and by actually doing nasal breathing and putting mouth tape, your body will adjust to breathe out your nose, because breathing out your mouth is not beneficial, and it will close up your mouth so you can breathe mostly out your nose and with your nose. And by doing that, you will have a better sleep pattern. You will feel more comfortably and actually improve my deep sleep. So most likely will improve your deep sleep. So it's just things to think about. But that's really it for this video. I'm going to talk about the summary really quick. But I just want to say, try your best to do this. It's going to take time, so it's not going to take a week. It's not going to take 2. It's going to take months. It's going to take years, obviously. And try your best to take these applications into consideration. If you can do 2 major things, let's say your scheduling. If you can fix up your schedule of sleep and maybe no caffeine, that's going to really improve a lot, like a considerable amount. Of course, taking medicines will help, but I won't recommend it because you could probably fix it in other form of factors, and just, taking a medicine, thinking that will solve the problem is very, very stupid. Because imagine if you're waking up throughout the night because you have to pee. Imagine waking up throughout the night because you're coughing in your sleep. Imagine waking up through your night because, you slept earlier than usual. That's gonna really that's gonna push the needle of you getting good or bad sleep than just taking a medicine. So really try to focus on sleep quality. Not just quality meaning deep sleep, quality of how you're gonna perform sleeping. Because it's not like a sport, but it's like you're training. It's really important. It's not even close as you're training. It's not close to your nutrition. Sleep is like the #1 thing. Number one. But that's just an honorable mention. That's all I will say. So we just talked about use a mouth tape. We just talked about don't eat between 3 to 2 hours, or it depends how you feel. Have a specific time or schedule, and do not make up for lost time. So don't sleep in on a Saturday, because that's gonna mess up your scheduling. And your body will adapt to that, but it won't adapt enough to that, and you'll fuck up your sleep. Number 2, do extra activity and no caffeine before bed. Everyone knows that. And do not use technology 32 hours before bed, but it depends. Of course, you could use blue light blocking glasses or sun protection or sun shield protection, but I would suggest at least 30 minutes without technology. At least no dopamine is considering like just going over and over. And that's it for today's video. This is episode 20 of the podcast. We talked about 5 ways to get better sleep. My name is NoBSNutirition or Drake. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Please comment below for more video ideas. I'm kind of losing some video ideas right now. And after 21 podcasts, I'm going to post 1 podcast a week. So it's not going to be a lot of content, but it's going to be a lot more YouTube shorts if you guys are interested in that. Please give me suggestions below. I would really like to take suggestions. I took suggestions from a commenter. He gave me a good one. And yeah, please comment below. I do free nutrition coaching. If you're interested, it's free. I don't have a certification, but if you want to do it, it's up to you. And that's it. Bye.